Up next on Line TV, we have a new episode of Discography and a story about a student teacher that's become a local legend at SHS.
And meet Jordan Jones with all your college football and NFL playoff updates. All that and more, Line TV starts now.
Good morning, Cersei, and welcome back to another episode of Line TV. I'm Warren Kemp.
And I'm Star Cox. We hope everybody had a great winter break. Now let's start this day off with some announcements.
Students, make sure you have your bus tag for riding the bus and use at school. Mr. Eubanks will be giving detention for students who do not bring their bus tag more than 1 day a week. Forgetting it 1 day is not a big deal, but for those who do not bring it 2 or more days in a week, will serve lunch detention.
Applications are now open for the 2025 Arkansas Governor's School to be held at Arkansas Tech University from July 6th through August 2nd in 2025. Students can be nominated by a teacher, counselor, or GT/AP coordinator. If you're interested in applying for AGS, please contact Shelly Elliott at shelliott@cerseischools.org or stop by room 204 for more information.
The Arkansas State privately funded scholarship portal is now open. If you are a high school senior, incoming student, or currently enrolled student, the time to apply is now. The portal is open October 1st to February 1st each year for the upcoming academic year. More information is listed on Schoology. If you have any questions, please email privatescholarships@astate.edu for assistance.
The next meeting for the National Honor Society will be Tuesday, January 21st at 7:30 a.m. in room 326. Make sure you're on the Schoology page and have notifications set. Also, the NHS scholarship is now open. Please see their Schoology page for more information. Most student teachers can bring extra challenges to their workload, but that's not the case with Ms. Jones' student teacher. He has a passion for his job like no other. Warren Kemp has managed to get an interview with them both.
There are many teachers in our school, but some of them are still students too, like Mr. Spicer, who works with Ms. Jones in class to help improve our learning.
Being a student teacher requires that you go through the College of Education at Harding. You don't have to major in education, but you do have to express interest in wanting to get your license, and they really take care of most of it.
Teaching is a job, but for some it's also a passion.
I'm planning to teach English, and growing up, I think English was just always my favorite subject. I was never a big math or science guy, especially because there's only one right answer. But in English, you can bring in your life perspectives, you can bring in different thoughts and still be correct, still be, contributing to the class. And I really like class discussions, and so I just thought, why not English?
The cabbage was cut up for the salad.
Working with Mr. Spicer has been fabulous. I have not taken a student teacher in a long time because they can be a lot of work. It's a lot of work to show somebody everything you do all day, every day. And so working with him has been so much fun. He's so young and fresh and full of ideas. And while he's been here, he's come up with a lot of the ideas for different assignments that we've done, in class. I've asked, okay, this is boring. I don't want to do this again. What else can we do? And he's like, well, how about this or how about that? So, and being able to bring in like modern song lyrics and things like that has been, really beneficial.
The relationship between student and teacher can impact the classroom and ways students learn.
I think there's been a really good rapport between students and Mr. Spicer. I knew kind of when I heard more about him and agreed to take him, I thought one reason I did is because I thought he would be really good for this year's seniors, and it's been true. He's had a good bond with the kids.
Skipping.
A good mentor can be a huge step on the path to becoming a teacher.
I've definitely learned a lot of things from her, just from how lenient and graceful she is when it comes to things like classwork and turning things in late, and also just establishing an environment of respect, but still being able to have fun with your students in the class. I think that's very important. It makes the students look forward to coming to class, and so, yeah, those are some things that I've picked up from her for sure. Our personalities match really well, and I just think her teaching style matches with how I want to lead a classroom, and I've just really enjoyed getting to learn from her this semester.
Better understanding the ones who teach us can help our school and the learning environment. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Warren. We sure do appreciate all the things our student teachers do for us.
The City of Searcy hopes to finish the design phase for the 2 lighted basketball courts at Yancey Park by the end of the year, according to Michelle Pugh, communications consultant for the city. Pugh said that once the process is completed, more information will be out on a coming construction timeline for the courts at Yancey Park. In July, city officials shifted plans for the official outdoor court from the Carmichael Community Center to Yancey Park. The Searcy Advertising and Tourism Promotion Commission previously approved $177,100 for the project. The lighted basketball courts will replace the old tennis courts at Yancey Park, and an old basketball court will be removed.
On Wednesday, January 1st, an individual drove a pickup truck into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 10 and injuring dozens of others. After hitting the crowd, he exited the vehicle and fired upon local law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire, and the subject was pronounced deceased at the scene. 2 law enforcement officers were injured and transported to a local hospital. The subject has been identified as a 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to have been rented, and the officers are now working to confirm how the subject came into possession of a vehicle.
A highly decorated Army soldier who fatally shot himself inside of a Tesla Cybertruck just before it blew up outside of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. He left notes saying the New Year's Day explosion was a stunt to serve as a wake-up call for the country's ills. Investigators say Matthew Livensberger, a 37-year-old Green Beret from Colorado Springs, Colorado, also wrote in his notes he left on his cell phone that he needed to cleanse his mind of all the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burdens of the lives I took. Livensberger served in the Army since 2006 and was deployed twice to Afghanistan. It's been really cold recently.
Yes, it has, and it makes me wonder what's happening with our weather locally here.
Well, good thing Samuel Stubbs has all of our weather updates for us.
Good morning, Searcy. I'm Samuel Stubbs with all your winter weather updates for the week. Today we have a high of 35 degrees, 42% chance of snow showers later in the afternoon into the evening, winds out of the southeast at 10 miles an hour, humidity at 58%, and your sun rose at 7:16 a.m. On to tonight. Temps going to drop all the way down to 27 degrees tonight. We have an 80% chance of snow. Winds that will be out of the south at 6 miles an hour, humidity at 74%, and your sun will set at 5:12 p.m. On to the almanac here. Over this last week, we've had an average high of 54 degrees, an average low of 23 degrees. Your monthly average of precipitation is 0.33 inches, and your month to date is 0.33 inches as well. Looking ahead to the 5cast, on Friday, we'll have a high of 36 and a low of 20 with some snow, 97% chance of snow. Saturday, back to sunny skies, high of 38, low of 25, and a 7% chance of precipitation. Sunday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 42, a low of 28, 14% chance of precipitation. Monday, clear skies, high of 42, low of 28, and a 6% chance of precipitation. On Tuesday, high of 42, low of 29, sunny skies, and a 6% chance of precipitation. Guys, you might finally see some of that patented after Christmas Arkansas snow. Make sure you stay safe out there if you choose to travel.
Well, all the snow talk is starting to get me hungry. Do you know what's for lunch today, Warren?
I do. Today for lunch we'll be having macaroni and cheese, classic cheese pizza, classic cheeseburger, fajita marinated chicken, ham and Swiss sub, fresh orange wedges, milk.
That sounds absolutely delicious. Be sure to thank our lunch ladies for preparing all this amazing food for everyone.
Hey Star, do you know if Discog will be going on now that it's a new year?
It will, and this week Curtis Stevens and Eric Crowley have a profile on AC/DC.
What's up, Searcy High? It's Eric Crowley.
And Curtis Stevens.
And prepare to get thunderstruck because we've got another thrilling episode of Discography.
You know, when you say it like that, it makes me think we're going to talk about the Australian rock band AC/DC.
That's exactly right. Anyway, AC/DC formed in 1973 in Sydney, Australia by Angus and Malcolm Young, with Colin Burgess, Larry Van Treat, and Dave Evans.
Earlier, Malcolm and Evans have been members of the band called Velvet Underground, not the American group of the same name. Based in Newcastle for 2 years, and Angus started his own band called Tantrum. He would only jam with his friends.
Now for their albums, they released their debut album, High Voltage, in 1975. Baby Please Don't Go, Soul Stripper, and You Ain't Got a Hold on Me, and Show Business were later released on 74 Jailbreak in 1984.
Their seventh album, Back in Black, released in 1980, was an immediate commercial success, debuting at #1 on the British Albums Chart and reaching #4 on the American chart, which Rolling Stone called a, quote, exceptional showing off for a heavy metal album.
Their 12th album, The Razor's Edge, released in 1990, was recorded at Little Mountain Sound Studios in Vancouver, Canada.
The album was a major comeback for the band, featuring the singles Thunderstruck and Are You Ready, which reached number 5 and number 16 respectively on Billboard's mainstream rock chart, and Money Talks, which peaked at number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100.
You've been thunderstruck.
Their most recent album, Power Up, released in 2020, was generally well received by music critics and reached number 1 in 21 countries. The album was nominated for the Best Rock Album at the 64th Annual Grammy Awards, but lost to Foo Fighters' Medicine at midnight. Man, this band is rocking harder than ever before, and I like that.
It has me curious to what our folks here at SHS think.
Well, let's go around and ask them.
What is your favorite AC/DC song?
TNT. Probably Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
Well, seriously, that does it for another episode of Discography. This is Curtis Stevens signing off.
And Eric Crowley. Have a rockin' day, Cersei. Now let's send it back to the news desk. Peace out.
Thanks, Eric and Curtis.
The college football playoff has been happening through the break.
Yeah, and Jordan Jones has all the scores and standing updates for us.
Happy Thursday, Cersei High. I hope you had an amazing Christmas break, but for now, let's head into some sports updates now that we have a lot to cover. In local sports, the BB Holiday Classic was held over Christmas break, where the boys and girls basketball teams here at SHS played 3 opposing teams each. The boys' first opponent was Alma, where the boys lost 29-75, making it their first loss of the tournament. Their next opponent will be Quitman, where the boys would come back and win against them 62-53, making them even in the wins and losses. The final opponent for the boys basketball team was against the Batesville Pioneers, where they won 42-32, making them 2-1 in the tournament. Now moving on to the Lady Lions basketball team, their first opponent was the Quitman Bulldogs, where they lost 40-56. They then played against the Baptist Prep, where the Lady Lions won 52-44, making their record even in the tournament. And the last opponent for the Lady Lions was the Sylvan Hills Bears, where the Lions would come out on top, winning 54-32, making both the girls and the boys basketball teams 2-1 in the tournament. Make sure to congratulate both of our teams for their outstanding performance. Cersei Wrestling has a number of events packed on their schedule full of excitement and entertainment. The weather may impact some dates, but we will do our best to give you the best accurate dates possible. To name a few events, the Lady Lions Invitational will be held in Lion Arena on February 1st. The Cersei Duels Tournament will be held on the 31st in the Old Gym as well as the Annex. Be sure to wish our wrestlers luck when you see them in their events. In national sports, the college football playoff has continued with some amazing games, such as Texas, who took on the biggest underdogs, Arizona State. This game would be a back-and-forth battle late in the game, with Cam Scadaboo leading the Sun Devils in stats with 30 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quinn Ewers would lead the Longhorns to victory in the Peach Bowl, going 20 for 30 with 322 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. The final score being 39-31 as Texas advanced to take on Ryan Day and the Buckeyes. As for Ohio State, they were looking like a very scary team when they played against Oregon. Touchdowns were the only thing going through the minds of Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith, as Smith had 7 receptions for 187 yards with 2 touchdowns. Howard would throw 17 for 26 with 319 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the Buckeyes to take home the Rose Bowl in a convincing score of 41-21. Penn State took on Boise State, with Genty being a huge target for the Nittany Lions after his incredible season. Genty would be held scoreless despite getting 30 carries for 104 yards. Tyler Warren would be the key factor for Penn State with 6 receptions with 63 yards and 2 touchdowns. Penn State would claim victory in the Fiesta Bowl, where they advanced to the semifinal to take on Notre Dame as they defeated Georgia with the help of Riley Leonard, who would throw 15 for 24 with 90 yards and a touchdown, but he wouldn't stop there as he would also have 14 carries with 80 yards for himself. The Fighting Irish continue to fight inside the bracket as they take down the Bulldogs 23-10. In the NFL, the playoff bracket is set. In the AFC, the Chiefs are the 1st seed, and they will take on the winner between the 5th seed Chargers and the 4th seed Texans. On the bottom half of that bracket, the 3rd seed Ravens is set to take on the 6th seed Steelers. The 7th seed Broncos will take on the 2nd seed Bills. In the NFC, the Lions have the 1st seed in the first round bye. They will take on the winner of the 5th seed Vikings and the 4th seed Rams. The lower bracket includes the 6th seed Commanders taking on the 3rd seeded Buccaneers. The last match includes the 7th seed Packers taking on the 2nd seed Eagles. This year's playoff is looking to be even more exciting than previous years alone, with many great teams looking to become Super Bowl champions. That's all the sports updates I have for you, Cersei. I hope you have a great weekend, stay warm, and now let's send it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, it seems we've made it to the end of another episode of Lion TV, Cersei. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, at Cersei High Lion TV.
And to follow us on X, at Lion TV, Instagram, at Cersei High Lion TV, and on Facebook, at Cersei High Lion TV. Signing off, I'm Warren Kemp.
And I'm Star Cox. Have a great day and stay warm, Cersei.